One study followed people for years and found that each extra egg a day came with a higher chance of dying early. Another study, tracking nearly 1.7 million people, found eggs do almost nothing to your heart. Both are real. Both are honest science. So how can they disagree? Because they're quietly answering two completely different questions. Let's untangle the egg.
Okay, I've heard both of those, and they scared me in opposite directions. So let's settle it my way. I'll ask the questions everyone actually argues about, and you tell me how strong the evidence really is. Where do we start?
With the one mistake that causes all the confusion. Eggs raise your cholesterol and eggs give you heart disease sound like the same claim. They are not. The first is about chemistry in your blood. The second is about whether you actually get sick and die. A small yes to the first does not automatically mean yes to the second. Keep these two apart and the whole topic suddenly makes sense.
All right, let's start with the chemistry. Do eggs raise your cholesterol, yes or no?
Yes, and this is the one place we have the strongest kind of evidence. Randomized trials, where researchers actually feed people eggs and measure the result. Pool 13 of those trials together and eggs raise LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol, by about 8 milligrams per deciliter. So the core of the myth is true, but look closely at the size. It's a small, steady nudge, not an explosion.
8 points higher, so eggs are bad for me. Case closed.
Not so fast. Put that 8 in perspective. A cholesterol-lowering statin drops LDL by 40 to 70 points. Eggs move it by 8. And here's what the average hides. Many people barely respond because their body just makes less cholesterol to compensate. A smaller group, the hyperresponders, react much more. That 8 is an average sitting between two very different kinds of people.
Okay, so the chemistry is real but small. Now the question I actually care about. Do eggs cause heart attacks?
Here the picture flips. The largest, most careful analysis followed about 1.7 million people. For each extra egg per day, the risk of heart disease came out at 0.98. In plain terms, no real change. Other big reviews land in the same place. No meaningful rise in heart attacks or stroke for moderate egg eaters. One caveat, and it matters. These are observational studies, so they show a pattern, not proof.
So eggs are totally off the hook for your heart.
Almost, with two honest caveats. One solid study did find a small increase, so this isn't unanimous. And it depends what the egg replaces. Swap a sausage breakfast for eggs and risk goes down. Swap oatmeal for eggs and it's less clear. So for the general, healthy population, the fair rating is moderate evidence of no meaningful heart risk from about an egg a day.
But I keep seeing headlines that eggs shorten your life. Are those just made up?
No, and this is the most honest part of the whole story. On living longer, the strong studies genuinely disagree. One analysis of nearly 2.8 million people found each extra egg a day tied to 7% higher overall death and 13% higher cancer death. But an equally large international study found no effect on death at all. Same food, opposite results.
Wait, so science just doesn't know.
On this one, honestly, not yet. And there's a revealing clue. In that same big study, overall deaths went up, but heart deaths specifically did not. If eggs were really killing people through cholesterol, heart deaths should lead the way. They didn't. That hints the signal is partly about the company eggs keep, the bacon, the white toast, the heavier overall diet, not the egg itself. So we label this one exactly what it is, conflicting.
Is there anyone who should actually be careful?
Yes, and it's a strikingly consistent finding. People with diabetes. Across several independent analyses, diabetics who eat a lot of eggs show a higher heart risk, roughly 50% higher in some. That signal doesn't appear in the general population, but for diabetics it keeps repeating. So the eggs are fine message does not automatically transfer to them.
So for the rest of us, how many eggs a day is actually safe?
The evidence lines up around 1 egg a day for healthy adults. That looks safe, maybe even neutral. Above that, the data gets thin and shaky, so nobody can honestly hand you a hard number. Worth knowing. In 2015, U.S. guidelines dropped their old 300 milligram cholesterol limit because the link to actual disease was weak. But limit removed does not mean unlimited. It means we're not certain enough to draw one exact line.
Okay, give me some good news. Is an egg at least good protein?
Here the evidence is genuinely strong. The whole egg is the historic gold standard for protein quality. It's literally the reference other foods are scored against. On the modern quality scale, it scores above 100 into the excellent range, and it carries all 9 essential amino acids in one cheap package. One honest footnote: gram for gram, it has a bit less leucine than whey, so for serious muscle building you'd eat a little more. But as protein, excellent. No asterisk needed.
All right, after all of that, give me the honest verdict.
Here's the whole egg on one card. Do eggs raise cholesterol? Yes, but only a little. Do they cause heart disease in healthy adults? Probably not, at around an egg a day. Do they make you live longer or shorter? Honestly, the evidence conflicts. Are they riskier for people with diabetes? A consistent maybe yes. And are they great protein? Absolutely. So what do you actually do? If you're a healthy adult, an egg or so a day is a reasonable choice, especially in place of processed meat. If you have diabetes, treat eggs with more caution and talk to your doctor. And enjoy them for what they clearly are: excellent, affordable protein. Not a health villain and not a superfood.
No hype, just the evidence. Next time we're pouring a tall glass of raw milk, is unpasteurized actually healthier or just riskier? Subscribe so you don't miss it.